You know that feeling when you look at a portrait and it's like you can feel who that person is. Not just what they look like, but who they really are. Well, today we're diving into the work of an artist who makes that his entire mission. To capture life not just as we see it, but as it's truly experienced.
And to kick things off, let's talk about a huge recent success. This painting, Bernard in Gold, has been making some serious waves internationally. It was selected for the prestigious The Young Museum's Open here in San Francisco and was also a finalist for a major award at the UK's National Portrait Gallery. I mean, that right there tells you we're talking about an artist who is the real deal.
Now, an achievement like that doesn't just happen overnight. It's really the culmination of decades of pure dedication. So, let's get to know the man behind the canvas, E. Dale Erickson, a true San Francisco original.
That's the big question, right? Who is E. Dale Erickson? Well, his story is just deeply woven into the fabric of the American art scene, and especially the one in San Francisco.
Okay, so his story really kicks off with a solid foundation, a Bachelor of Fine Arts from the famous Art Institute of Chicago back in 1964. But the really pivotal moment comes in 1972. That's when he joins Project Artaud in San Francisco, and trust me, that place becomes central to his life's work. Just 2 years later, he locks in his expertise with a master's in printmaking. So this isn't just a list of dates. It's the start of a long, dedicated career in a city that would come to define him. So, we've got the who and the what, but to really truly get his art, we've got to dig into the why. And this is where we get to the heart of it all, the secret sauce that makes his work so powerful, this guiding philosophy of capturing something experienced, not just seen.
This one phrase, this is the key to everything. Erickson isn't trying to create a perfect photorealistic copy. His goal is to capture people as they are experienced, not just seen. Just think about that for a second. It's about the feeling, the history, the entire personality that just radiates from a person, stuff that goes way beyond their physical features.
So, how in the world does he do that? Well, a key technique is something called juxtaposition in realism. What that means is he creates this amazing balance where the super realistic, meticulously painted objects and backgrounds actually end up amplifying the deep, intangible character of the person in the portrait. It's a masterful contrast between what you see and what you feel. And what you end up with is something he calls life preserved in oil. It's not just a snapshot. It's about giving the subject a sense of permanence, a feeling that their life and their story will last long, long after that moment is gone. And this powerful way of thinking, it doesn't just stop with his portraits. It actually stretches across this incredibly diverse collection of work, exploring not just people, but also places and objects with that very same depth. I mean, just look at the range here. The sheer breadth of his talent is amazing. He's working in paintings, drawings, etchings, but then also sculptures and even what's called object d'art, these small, beautifully crafted decorative pieces. This just shows a true mastery across so many different forms of art.
Let's break down his main themes, starting with people, of course. For him, the goal is always to capture the experience of personality. This is what's behind those powerful portraits like Bernard in Gold. He's trying to show us who the person is, not just what they happen to look like.
Then you've got places. When Erickson focuses on a location, he's not just painting a building or a pretty landscape. He's reflecting the passage of time. You can almost feel the history, the stories that must have happened inside those walls or on that very street. And finally, objects. For Erickson, a still life isn't just, a bowl of fruit on a table. It's about creating modern heirlooms, pieces that are meant to be cherished for generations. He takes everyday objects and gives them a kind of significance that just makes them feel timeless. So you take this really deep philosophy, you combine it with decades of hard work, and what do you get? You get a real legacy. And a huge, huge part of that legacy is tied to one very special place.
Get this, 1972. That's the year E. Dale Erickson joined Project Artaud. And incredibly, that is where he has lived and created his art ever since. We're talking over half a century of commitment to one single artistic community. That's just amazing.
And Project Artaud isn't just some random building. It's a landmark. It's a pioneering arts complex right in the heart of San Francisco's super vibrant Mission District. To be a foundational member of a community like that, it just speaks volumes about his dedication to art and the people who make it.
And this isn't just talk, right? His legacy is literally cemented in museums and collections. His work is held in major public collections like the Achenbach Foundation and the SF Arts Commission, and in big-time corporate collections from JP Morgan Chase to Harry and David. This is the kind of real-world recognition that validates a lifetime of artistic passion.
So, to wrap things up, let's turn one of his own core ideas back on you. His work is all about turning people, places, and objects into timeless heirlooms. It kind of makes you wonder, beyond just material things, what experiences, what stories, what part of you will you pass down? It's a pretty powerful thought, and it's all inspired by a lifetime dedicated to preserving life in art.